Not only will people contribute to a nonprofit project like Wikipedia, they will also contribute to a commercial business that is trying to make content free. Frankly, I don't think we're doing anything special. There are many companies here in the room that offer open source content on free software. And what you see is that the Web 2.0, if I go back to some of the questions from the panel, is really about enabling our customers to have more control over their media, more control than the big media is really comfortable with. So you see the same virtuous cycle in open content that you see in open source, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about that. If you start with contributors who really care about a topic, whether it's health or gadgets or Formula One racing, what you see is that contributors write good content. And good content, in turn, attracts readers. And if you have a system, whether it's TrackBack or Wiki or other ways for your readers to contribute, some of them can in turn become contributors, and that's when the real value of this virtuous cycle begins, because the power of the commons is such that when the content's quality is exposed to enough people, just like the open source code, when it's exposed to enough people, the code or the content gets better. It gets better because some people care about it and they want to make it better. And if you open up your content on your blog or on your wiki and you enable other people to contribute, what you see is the content can become immortal. It lasts beyond your lifetime. Other people can contribute. And we think that's a very powerful idea for society. So we get the same questions, whether it's open source or open content, which is, how are you going to make money? Well, some people make money through advertising. Others, like Wikipedia, have donations. And if you really are looking for only a few euros, you can always sell t-shirts and coffee mugs with your logo, which is a nice business and will pay the rent on your servers. So as we were looking at this over the last few weeks preparing for this conference, one of the things we saw is that free culture and open source still have some barriers, and we need your help. So what are they? One is the toolkit. Open source software, while it has been both free and commercialized, it's still not easy to use. It takes some technical skill to install your software, to maintain it. And open content is great. You can put up your blog content on Creative Commons, but if you don't have enough readers, if you don't have enough fellow contributors, you can't get this critical mass. So we started asking the question, well, if you have this idea that everything should be free, what's next? So I went on the internet, looked around a little, and I found Free Beer. This is a project from some guys in Copenhagen, and they have taken their recipe for beer and published it. And so now you can go and download their recipe and make your own beer. And if you don't like the recipe, you can improve it and contribute back your own. They make money through selling, hats and bumper stickers. And so I got pretty excited about this. There's another idea I want to talk to you about today, and that is the idea of open serving, which is a new concept. Open serving is our hope that open source and free content can be applied to web computing. So I'm here in Paris today to talk a little bit about what would happen if you believed bandwidth was free. We started with this idea that the world needs more good content. But what if there was a company that would provide you, as the bloggers, with free bandwidth, free storage, free software, and what your role was to drive traffic to it from your blogs or from your other communication, to write content and help seed topics, and you were able to keep 100% revenue, because it turns out you're free, so why should you pay for hosting? You could build the world's largest content database together of free content. So last night at dinner I talked about this with some of the VCs, which is not surprising. Anytime you come up with a crazy new idea, that's what you hear, and my answer is probably, if you give away bandwidth and storage and you charge nothing for it and you get none of the ad revenue, it's the business model. I don't know yet, but we think it would be fun to figure it out. So that's what we're going to be doing. What does this mean for me? I'm a blogger. It's nice that you want to give away bandwidth, but I already have a blog. I don't really understand community. I get lots of trackback. That's nice, but frankly, it's not helping me write content. So I said, well, what did one blogger do? This is an example. This is a site in the US called Armchair GM. It was one frustrated blogger working part-time who took MediaWiki, which is an open source software package for collaboration, and enabled many people to contribute on the topic he cared about, which was originally baseball. So in 12 months, working part-time, he built 53,000 pages of content, not by himself, but by getting contributions from over 1,000 users, by getting over 300 blogs to link to this project. They're going to do over 5 million page views this year, and it's collaboration. It's free content. If you want the content on this site, you can go, download it, and take the entire 53,000 pages and put it on your blog, because they operate on free software and they believe in free content. We found this a pretty exciting idea, so we bought the company last week. And now we're going to use it to launch this idea of open serving. So what I wanted to offer you here today is that we are going to take this software, make it open so anyone can contribute, host it for free, and allow people to create news and opinion communities on any topic they want. Well, what could this look like? Let me give you an example. Here is a collaborative blog. It's sort of part dig, part user-generated content, but very structured. Our goal is to give anyone who wants it their logo, allow them to contribute, but also their readers to contribute, allow them to share opinions as well as news, and to give 100% of the revenue away to whoever wants to have one of these. So that's our idea. How would it work for you? Well, you can turn your readers into writers. You can create even more, and this is our mission, to make free content available to anyone. And maintain every software package on the planet. So if there are developers who are interested in joining us, please come and join. And if you're one of the panelists from the last session, you have hardware or bandwidth, it's not free for us yet, so we're going to start looking for donations for that as well. So, if I was to summarize, open source has been very commercialized. We think open content is clearly on its way, and we want to lead, with your help, the next step in the revolution of making things free on the internet.